Okay, so first off, we are going to, in a large bowl, you combine the almond flour and
the powdered sugar.
Yes.
In a big bowl.
Yes. So basically you want to make sure that you use the powdered sugar, not granulated sugar, because powdered sugar has cornstarch, and that will make sure that it gets the almond flour less oily, because almond flour has a lot of oil, so it kind of dries it out. And we're putting it in our magic bullet, but you can use a food processor. It's just to make sure that your macarons have a smooth top and it's not lumpy, the batter.
Yes.
So we're shaking it up so that it doesn't get mushed up.
Yes.
You want to do this about like 3 to 5 times. We did it 5 times, but it kind of depends on how long.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how long you do it.
Yes. Okay, so that was 5 times.
Yes. And then you open it.
And then you open the little
And then
container.
you get a sift thing.
So first you got to dump it into a bowl. Like you kind of spoon it out. You use a spoon and you just kind of take it all out. Oops, I kind of spilled a little bit. But that's okay. Mistakes happen.
Yeah.
So you spoon it out.
Doesn't really matter if you sort of make mistakes.
Yes.
You learn.
It's part of baking.
Yeah, of course. And then you get a sift.
So you got to get a sift. Oh, wait a second.
So
my brother's just kind of mixing it up.
I'm mixing it up, and now you're mixing.
And now we're going to get a big, gigantic bowl.
And get the sift and put a tiny bit of I don't know.
So you want to sift it about 3 times.
Yeah.
I know this kind of sounds a little bit crazy, like pulsing it 5 times and sifting it 3 times, but make sure that you do it because your macarons will come out really, really smooth and beautiful.
And you don't want your macaron to be like really lumpy or stuff like that.
Yes. So
So that's why we're sifting it.
Yes. So the first time when you sift, you can use a spoon to kind of run it through.
Yeah.
So that you kind of get rid of the lumps. But because the first time is always the most rough time. But
yeah, of course.
The next few times you don't have to do that anymore. You probably shouldn't because when there are lumps, that's just how the almond is, and you can just toss those away.
Yeah.
And we're just sifting out the rest of the mixture.
The mixture, yeah. And then sift until there's no lumpy stuff.
And I'm just throwing away the rest. So now, we're putting it back in the bowl.
And then sift it again.
One more time.
One more dab. And the same, you don't want any lumps.
Yes,
in
you
your
don't want any
macarons.
lumps in your macarons. Yes.
Because you want them to look what?
Beautiful! Okay, so now we're sifting in the cocoa powder.
Yes.
You don't have to do it too early because, it's just a little amount. You don't need to sift it much.
And we're just practicing all this macaron stuff.
Yeah. So, and then you just kind of stir it around, make sure the mixture is all combined. There's no weird streakies.
And lumpies.
Yes. And then after that, you transfer it back to that first bowl, and we're going to sift it one more time with the cocoa powder this time.
Yes.
Okay, then. So you sift it one more time just to make sure that there's no
lumpies.
Yes, no lumpies.
But this time with the cocoa powder.
Yes, remember to put the cocoa powder in, or else there won't be chocolate macarons anymore.
Yeah,
There'll
be no flavor.
Well, there will be flavor, like almond flavor, but, not much flavor.
I mean, almond doesn't taste good.
Yes, you're going to whip the egg whites, make sure they are room temperature. And
yes, really
Yes, and also a tip with the egg whites is that you measure them out first. The day before you want to do this, you put it in a bowl, you cover it with plastic wrap, you poke holes on it. Yeah, oh, here I am. Yes, and you keep it in the refrigerator. And one tip that you can do is that, so when the egg whites are done, you can flip them actually over your head and they won't come falling out. But you also, if they're not whipped properly, you run the risk of them kind of, falling out. And next we have the macaronage, which is the folding and mixing of the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients.
Yeah.
So during this process, you don't want to beat too much air out of the egg whites, but you still want to save some air.
Yeah, a tiny bit of it.
I think this is probably like the trickiest part because some people undermix, they overmix. The macaron can be like really different consistencies. Like sometimes they're hollow, sometimes they're too flat, they don't have feet. So you just kind of gotta...
Yeah, it's a little tricky to get beat when you make macarons.
Yeah, but the more you practice, the better you get at it. And, we've made this like, 10 times? And this is like...
Or 5 times.
Yes, like 5 or 10 times. I don't really know, but, we finally succeeded this time.
Yeah.
So that is not the right consistency. It's too thick, it's dropping off, but it's not like flowing.
Yeah, not even flow.
That's not right either.
Yeah.
That is close, but not right either. Yeah. Kind of. It's starting to flow, but not really. It's still broken. That's much better. It's very flowy. So you transfer it into a piping bag. We didn't have a piping bag, so we used a Ziploc bag, and we had like piping tips.
Yeah.
So we just piped it out of that.
So we put the piping tip inside our Ziploc bag. I mean, we cut it a hole.
Yes, and make sure you scrape out all the batter, so you don't waste any, and also, save the environment.
Yeah.
So after that, you just try to pipe out little circles for your macarons, or if you're doing these fun little cartoon shapes, that'll be nice. I don't know how to do them, but, you can try. And you tap the air out of them because you want to knock all the air bubbles out of your macarons. And here's my brother making really weird faces. Okay, now starting on the coffee buttercream. So basically, we use some of my dad's instant coffee.
Yeah.
He drinks it a lot. He doesn't let us drink it. That's okay, because we used it this time. And he loves macarons, so yeah.
Yeah, and he likes coffee, so that's why we put coffee.
Yes.
And we're just using it because probably.
Yes, and then you add 2 teaspoons of milk along with the 2 teaspoons of instant coffee. So this time we were kind of trying out this recipe, and we didn't know how much, so
after
we first
you
started...
add the milk, you stir it.
Yes, and we had to try it. So we started out with 2 teaspoons of coffee and milk, but then we gradually added up to about 4 teaspoons of coffee and 4 teaspoons of milk.
Mm-hmm.
I know I said 20 grams of sugar in this recipe, but it's actually 25.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was 20.
Yeah, but I was testing the recipe out. I know. We didn't have a recipe for this, so that's okay.
Yeah. That's still okay.
So you add the sugar into your softened butter. Softened butter whips up so much better. So you just kind of whip it up so that it gets nice and airy.
And then we wanted more coffee.
Yes.
We added 2 more teaspoons of coffee.
And milk. Yes.
Yes. Of course. Where's the milk?
I'm bringing the milk here. There we go.
Yeah. And then stir it again.
Yes. So there's no lumps. Make sure the instant coffee dissolves.
Yes.
And then gradually you will add a little bit of the coffee mixture, and so that it doesn't become like this big gloopy mess. Like that happens when you add like it all.
Yeah.
It just kind of separates into water and butter. And here we are tasting it. Yay!
And then we just...
You know when the macarons are ready? When there is...
forming skin?
Yes, when there's a skin in
I mean, one that is ruined.
Yes.
That's still okay because the rest are good.
And when you can touch it, nothing comes out. So
Yes.
now you bake it at 300 degrees for
and
15
also,
minutes.
if you touch the macaron and it sticks to your hand, that means it's not ready
Yes.
yet.
And here I am piping out the macarons.
Macarons.
The
I
buttercream.
wasn't really there though.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Was I having a meeting or something?
So you just want to pipe little circles of the buttercream.
Coffee, buttercream, coffee.
Yes. So basically these macarons are like mocha flavor because mocha is like chocolate and coffee, so why not? They look pretty.
Wait,
So here I am about to take a bite, and they are so delicious. You should try these out. And credits to the YouTube channel Catherine Kwa. She is a really good baker, and you should check out her channel.
Which is Ellie.
No, it's not.
Probably not.
Okay, thank you.